Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Today is Video Friday, and so today we are going to make a fun fold card. And I can never remember what the names are of these cards. I haven't seen this one in a long time, and so hopefully it's something new for you too. I'm going to call it an Expandable Shutter card. And the reason is because there are some pieces that actually kind of pop up and make it a little expandable. So I'm going to be using a lot of product from the mini catalog, the current mini catalog, and also there is some celebration paper that I'm going to be using that you're going to want. So let's get started. I'm going to give you all the measurements. Okay, so if you want to make one, you can easily cut and make the card. Okay, so let's see. Before I get started, I just want to talk a little bit about SaleABration. It's underway. It's going on until February 28th. It's a great time for you to pre-purchase your paper pumpkin subscriptions, okay? Because if you look in the mini catalog on pages 6, it will talk about the paper pumpkin subscriptions. If you pre-order 3 months, you pay in advance for those at $67.50, but you get a celebration product for a $50 celebration item. When you do that, then they send you right away. You will get a number to enter into your paper pumpkin subscription website, and you will, for the next 3 months, you won't have to pay for paper pumpkin. There's also a 6-month and a 12-month option. Obviously, you're going to save some money if you do those bigger options. There's $5 savings if you do the 6-month, and there's a $20 savings if you do the 12-month. And the benefits, the celebration benefits are, of course, better. So I do this every year. Now, we're not going to have celebration this summer. So if you want to do it for the whole year, then you want to do the 12-month because we're not going to have this option again in the summer. I used to do 6 months and 6 months. So you can still put your subscription on hold. So if you prepay for 12 months or 6 months, and there's a month where you don't want that month, you can still put it on hold even though you've prepaid. Okay, so you still have control over your subscription. So just going to mention that we are going to have Paper Pumpkin Day on February 5th. That's Sunday, February 5th from 1 to 4. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or if you have been with me and you have some boxes that are incomplete, you can bring them and do Paper Pumpkin. Okay, so just wanted to mention that. So let's get started making this cute card. Okay, so your card base is going to be a little bit smaller than normal. Let's see, a little bit of fragment here for some reason. It's going to be 8 by 5.5. Okay, so it's just take off a 1/2 inch off the side. Okay, then we're going to make 4 score lines. The first one is going to be at 1 inch. So put that in your paper trimmer at 1 inch. And you want to use your gray blade because we're scoring. And then 2 inches. Okay, and then flip it over and do that again. 1 inch. And 2 inches. So we have our card base ready. Now we're just going to take your bone folder. You're going to fold this in and fold it out. Okay, so you're going to make this little like that. So fold it in and then fold it out. Okay, and I have some kind of sticky on here. It's driving me cuckoo. Ugh. Okay, so we have this, the start of your card. Okay, now you're going to need some, I chose white as my card base. You can use any color you'd like, but since I chose white, I have some white pieces cut. And so if you choose another color, say petal pink or whatever, you're going to want to do this in the same color. Okay, so this is 2 by 5.5. You need 2 of these, 2 by 5.5. And you could use liquid glue now, or you could use Stampin' Seal Plus, or you can use tear and tape. And I think I'm going to use my tear and tape. Okay. And the reason is because you want something that's going to hold, because you're going to be pulling on this. So I'm going to put tear and tape on just on part of my pieces. So this is the what size did I say? 2 by 5.5. Okay, so you don't want to put it across the whole piece. You just want on half. So let's do it with the other one also. All right. So have you placed any orders for your celebration products? I am in love with the adorable owls. Oh, there's just so much cute stuff. Okay, so now we're going to pull these off. I'm just using my Take Your Pick tool to get that started. My fingernails are terrible right now. So this is the sticky side. I don't know where I have all this glue from. And now I'm going to line this up right here on the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. And like I said, you can use liquid glue. You have to be careful with liquid glue. I have a tendency sometimes to overuse it, and it makes a mess. So that may be what's on my grid paper right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oof. This really grabs quick. So line up the corner, line up the top. If you have a little overage like that, you can trim it off now. It's pretty darn close. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. It's so close. Okay, so we got this going on. Now, you want to choose some designer series papers, and you think in advance what designer series papers coordinate. I'm actually using two different ones, but I'm using 3 pieces. So I chose some celebration paper. And this, you might have seen this in another video. This is a plaid that I love. I'll make sure these are the same size. Yes, they are. And this is a celebration package called Dandy Designs. This is from that big pack of celebration paper. So if you have a $100 order, you can get this for free. This is a celebration item. And you get a lot of it. You get 48 sheets in the pack. It's a 12 by 12 pack. Okay, so now I'm just going to put adhesive on the back. And the sizes, oh, did I tell you the size? 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and you need 2 of these. And then they will layer nicely onto your bases that you already glued down. This thing's scooting around everywhere I don't want it. You know, I love the grid paper, but when it gets glue on it, it can be so time to pitch that piece. Okay, so now I have this looking really good. So now I'm going to add some more. Okay, so this is designer series paper from the mini catalog, and this is called Country Floral Lane. Country Floral Lane. It actually coordinates. There's a whole suite. There's the Country Bouquet punch, Country Bouquet stamp set, Country Floral Lane designer series paper, and so the hearts. I love these. Love it. Silly me. I got the punch. Okay, so I got the punch, I got the paper, and I did not get the stamp set initially. I've already ordered the stamp set since I did not get it. So don't be silly like me. Okay, so what size are these white pieces? So this is going to be the same color as your card base, whatever card base color you chose. Mine was white. 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. You need 2 of these cut. 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, and then your designer series paper is 1 1/4 by 5, because these are going to layer onto here. So go ahead and glue these on. This might be a little bit of a long video. I usually try to keep them, 10, 12 minutes, but this one's probably going to be a little bit longer because I'm only halfway through the card. Okay, now to make, this would look really cute. I could just layer this on here now, but I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to make some little, I don't even know what you would call these. Kind of like little expanders. And these are 4.5 by 1.5. And now you're going to need to score these twice. Okay, so you need 2 of these, 4.5 by 1.5, and you're going to score these at the 1/2 inch. So your first one's going to be at 1. Your second one's going to be at 1/2. Okay, so there's 1. There's my second one, 1 inch and 1/2 of an inch. Okay, and then they're going to make these kind of like a Z fold. I think we're done with the paper trimmer now. Okay, so you're going to make these at a Z, like a little Z fold. So you're going to fold one in and then fold this one back. Okay, so you're going to make it kind of like that. Backward Z. They call it a Z fold. And then fold this one back. Okay, now, all right, now I'm going to put some tear and tape on this end and this end. I'm going to show you why. Okay, so you could use liquid glue, but it gets a little scary because liquid glue, you're going to need to definitely not overuse it. Tear and tape is so amazing. I love it. Okay, so I'm putting it on both sides after I've folded it. Okay, now this is really important. Here's your card. Okay, so you want this edge to be on the in. Okay, if you put it this way, it's not going to pull. All right, so you want this edge to be right here. So we're going to tear this off. If I can get it with my fingernail. I'm going to line it up here at the bottom, kind of an eyeball it for the center. Okay. And go ahead and press it down. Same thing with the other piece. So in the old days, we had this, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like tear and tape, but it was red, and it was great. It held great, but oh my gosh, like it would, those little pieces that you tore off would stick to your finger and you couldn't get it off. I'm so glad they got rid of that because it was irritating. Okay, now we're going to tear this off. At any point, you could change this card up a little bit and make it easier, but I think it works. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to line this up at the bottom, okay, in the center, and press down. Didn't line it up that great, but we're going to go with it. Okay, same thing with this one. Kind of wanted that centered more, but oh well, it is what it is now because tear and tape is not moving. Hang on a second. I'm going to hold this down while I do this. I want this one lined up just like the other one. There we go. Okay. Looks really cute. Okay. Now, here's what you get. You get that, and you get an extra pull. I love it. I think it's adorable. So, you can see how it's kind of popping up on its own. So, we're going to do a belly band. And for the belly band, I chose the same designer series paper. I thought, well, I don't want to go with the third one. So this is 1 inch wide, and you're going to wrap it around. And you want, if you've ever done a belly band, you want it a little bit loose, right? Because you are going to slide it off and on. So you don't want it super tight. Our tendency is to really cinch it up. And you want it connected in the front because you're going to cover that up. You could do it in the back, but I just say do it in the front. Okay, so we're going to put, again, I'm going to put 2 little pieces of tear and tape right there. Okay. Tear that off. We have a little overage, just, there you go. It's easier to play with than liquid glue sometimes because liquid glue squeezes out. Okay, so we're going to line this up perfectly, like that. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Give it a nice press. Okay, so now we have our belly band. So when you want to take this off and on, you just slide it off and then slide it back on. Okay, so there's how a belly band works. All right, now we need something on the front as a focal point, and this is where the fun comes in. We have okay, so I said I did not get the Country Bouquet stamp set yet, but I do have the Country Bouquet Country Floral Lane Designer Series paper. And this is it. It's so cute. And here's the cool thing. This punches that out. Okay, so I am going to line this up and punch. Okay, so you're going to get all 4 pieces. And I'm going to show you a trick here in a minute on how to reassemble it. Okay, so we have a little piece of white cardstock. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And how did I get this on here? Well, there is a die that is just to die for. It's from Blossoming Happiness Dies. And it's this die right here. Now, when you use it, you want to make sure that the cutting side is, because it will cut through your cardstock. So you want to make sure that it lined up on the edge. Okay? And then it'll make that cute, like a notebook edge. So that die is Blossoming Happiness. I just want to mention that. And that's in the annual catalog. Okay. So how am I going to put this on here? Well, the piece that I cut out, I'm just going to lay it on here like this. And now I am going to use some liquid glue. And I'm going to, boy, my fingernails. I miss my long fingernails, actually. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. And I'm going to put some little bit of glue in the center of each of these. So I'm kind of using this as a guide. And I'm going to place these back right where they were punched out. These 2 are easy. The other ones, not so easy because you have to make sure you get the leaves going the right way. I think it's this one. Yes. This one goes here. Man, if I hit that one more time with my arm, it just keeps bouncing this paper around. And then this one, I know why, because it's curled up on the edge. Golly, where's my take your pick tool? There we go. Stick that right in that little hole. Okay, now we'll press those down. Make sure that they are glued down. And then we're going to lift this up. Now, if I had the stamp set, it might be easier. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. There, isn't that so cute? Okay. Now I want to stamp something on there, but you have to be careful when you have designer series paper that's glued on, because if I stamp on that, part of it's going to be on here and part of it there's going to be a gap, right? So I have to be careful. So I'm going to use Sentimental Park. This is a stamp set from the mini catalog, and I'm going to use Love You. So I'm going to stamp in Sweet Sorbet. You were wondering if I'm ever going to use these stamp pads. And the answer is yes, I'm going to use them right now. So I'm going to stamp Love, and I love, love, love this love. going to stamp that right in there. And then I'm going to stamp U on this piece. Okay, done. And now I'm going to just trim this out real quick. Fussy cut this. I have been stamping almost all day, and I have to tell you, I've been doing a lot of fussy cutting. I love to fussy cut. Okay, so now I'm going to put a couple little dimensionals on the back of U. I'm going to pop that up. I'm going to put it like right here. Okay. And I think that might need just a little edge. So I have a piece of petal pink, and I'm just going to put this on here. So this is just under 3 by 3. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some adhesive on here. I'm just going to pop this on here, just to give it that edge. I thought it looked a little naked by itself. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more tear and tape. If I can find it. Tell you, this is how I stamp. I start throwing things around. I can't find anything. Well, I'm just going to go with regular adhesive. It's here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. I'm going to put that on there like that. And then I do have some embellishments. I thought I did. Golly, Trevis. Well, where's my dots? I had some embellishments. Don't know what I did with. Here they are. These are the pastel adhesive back sequins. And these are balmy blue, petal pink, and gold. And here's the cool thing. You get a whole sheet of small and a whole sheet of large. Whoop, love that. So now, just going to put a couple of these petal pink up here and a petal pink down here. Okay, just for a little sparkle. I think it needed a little sparkle. Okay, so there is our, and I'm calling it an expandable shutter card. I don't know what you want to call it, but, and then on the inside, you could either just write or you could, you know, stamp a little something. Whenever I get my new Country Bouquet stamp set, I may stamp a little something on the inside. Hope you enjoyed this card today. If you did, give it a like or a share. My name's Trevis Bossler, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks for watching. See you on Tuesday.